So, after having watched all 12 episodes of the newly released Part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean, I thought it'd be appropriate that I'd go ahead and discuss with you guys and give my opinions and thoughts on Stone Ocean so far. What's up guys, Surian back at you guys with another anime video. So in today's video we're going to be going ahead and talking about the first 12 episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean. So before we get into that review guys, let me just go ahead and ask that you guys drop a like, drop a comment, and let me know what you thought of the review and what you thought of the first 12 episodes of Stone Ocean, as well as consider sticking around as I will be pumping out daily anime and manga related videos. So without further ado guys, let's jump straight into the review for JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. So starting off, Stone Ocean takes place in 2011 near Port St. Louis, Florida, in a prison facility called Green Dolphin Street Prison. For the first time in the series, we begin our bizarre adventure following the events of 19-year-old Jolene Kujo, who is the daughter of everyone's favorite hero, Jotaro Kujo. We learn that Jolene is set up by her first love, Romeo Jizo, in an attempt to save himself for a hit-and-run case that he was ultimately responsible for. Upon her attorney visiting her, Jolene is given a pendant from her father, in which pricks her, thus unlocking her stand ability. Jolene, then being tricked by her attorney, gives a false statement during her trial as to the events that unfolded that day. With the judge sentencing Jolene a 15-year sentence, she quickly realizes that her attorney deceived her into this false statement. With her newly awakened stand ability, she finds out that her lawyer was working with Romeo all along in order to keep himself out of prison. Jolene, now enraged, exacts revenge on the shady attorney by killing him. After some time passes and Jolene gets accustomed to her newly found stand, her father Jotaro hears of her incarceration and heads to the prison to break her out. Sadly, upon doing so, both Jolene and himself are attacked by a stand called White Snake. White Snake effectively steals Jotaro's memories and stand, making Jotaro a lifeless husk. Jolene, believing if she successfully retrieves her father's memory and stand disc from White Snake, she can bring him back to life. It is then that Jolene embarks on a myriad of journeys in order to help her father within the Green Dolphin Street prison. And alright guys, that's pretty much the whole synopsis for the first 12 episodes of the story. Now, with the synopsis out of the way, I wanted to go ahead and talk about my personal favorite aspect of Stone Ocean, and that of course being the characters. First, let's talk about our badass heroine protagonist, Jolene, who I have to say, after having watched the first 12 episodes, she might actually be my third favorite Joestar, behind both Jonathan and Josuke. Her design and the way she evolves over the course of the 12 episodes really shows her grit and determination towards saving her father, as well as her overall demeanor going from a coy girl to a prison-smart woman. Both her mindset and street smarts help carry her well throughout the Green Dolphin Street prison. Moving on, her stand, Stone Free, I feel as though from what I've seen so far, it isn't innately broken like some of the other past Joestar's stands are. But also, that's what I really like about it most. It's a stand that requires you to fear the user more than the stand itself. Now, I haven't read past where the anime ends so far, so she might get a stand upgrade in time, but for right now, this is what I have to go off of. Overall, I really like Jolene, and can't really think of a better protagonist to play in such a part. And I'm really excited to see what the rest of the part will bring eventually when we get the anime to return. Secondly, we have Hermes. Hermes is a character that I found to be pretty awesome. Now, personally, I wouldn't rank her as being one of my all-time favorites or anything as of now, but let's also keep in mind that this is only the first 12 episodes, so that's certainly subject to change. I feel as though Hermes perfectly embodies all the qualities of someone who knows their way around prison. This is immediately made apparent when Hermes tells Jolene on their ride to the Green Dolphin Street prison that she has money stashed inside of her breast. Stand, the humanoid kiss, or simply kiss, is quite the unique stand as well. It allows her to duplicate any object she wants by removing the sticker that she plants on said object. This stand so far is nifty as it helps her get out of some pretty tight situations, some most notable being the encounters with Foo Fighters and McQueen. Overall, I feel Hermes provides the right amount of resources to Jolene as well as the other characters within the part, and I'm very interested to see her in the future Stone Ocean episodes of the anime whenever they return. Next, we move on to Jotaro. Now, if you're familiar with the series and have seen the recent parts, you'll know that Jotaro is pretty much the exact same as he was in Stardust Crusaders as well as Diamond is Unbreakable. His character this time acts more of a plot piece to Jolene's goal throughout this part. With his stand, Star Platinum, we get to see him use all the infamous moves, even using the world to sacrifice himself in order to protect Jolene. Unfortunately, there isn't too much for me to say about Jotaro except that I hope we can see more of him whenever the anime returns. Following Jolene's comatose daddy, we have Foo Fighters. This character honestly is just a lot of fun. Serving as the show's main source of comic relief, I find that Foo Fighters is serious when the situation calls for it. From assaulting another inmate for drinking her water, to showing her loyalty towards Jolene, Foo Fighters is just a joy to see. Now personally, I'll be very interested to see if Foo Fighters gets a stand upgrade, making it to where she's not so reliant on water moving on forward within the part, but unfortunately I'll just have to wait until the anime rolls around to really see if that comes to fruition, but overall, Foo Fighters is an excellent character. Next, we tackle Emporio. Now, Emporio is a cool character for sure, but he definitely gives off Koichi vibes, as he isn't that instrumental at this current time in the anime, but could very well change moving forward. What I do find interesting about Emporio is his stand, burning down the house, but unfortunately I would have to say Emporio is probably one of the downsides to the show as of right now, seeing as though he isn't really, as I mentioned before, instrumental to the plot, but definitely I'm very interested to see his character develop within the story as the anime returns. Alright, and now for my personal favorite of the bunch, and that is Weather Report. Now, from the first time I saw Weather, something about his design and character just automatically vibed with me. From him losing his memory to Whitesnake, to walking on his tippy toes, to calling in a poisonous frog airstrike to help Jolene, this guy is just the definition of a badass. It is quite remarkable how much I liked Weather with his rather short anime appearance, but I feel as though that what gravitates me towards him the most. The alluring nature of his character and ultimately wanting to regain his memory and know more about him keeps me invested more and more about him. And without giving any spoilers, but if you guys have seen the final episode of the 12 batches of episodes for part 6, I really hope Weather gets through whatever he got through, and I just want to see more of him whenever the anime comes back. But yeah, that is my favorite character of part 6, definitely, no questions asked, is Weather Report. And as we wrap up all the characters within part 6, let's end it with our soul-sucking religious antagonist, Poochie. Poochie so far is a great villain. I love how he carries a lot of Dio's ideals, but doesn't seem to let his ego get in the way of his objective. What I like most from Poochie is his ability to think rationally under pressure. Where most villains in the series make irrational or even last-ditch attempts when they are in peril, Poochie shows us when he is caught in the barrage of poisonous frogs and tells himself to calm down while counting prime numbers. I found that scene of Poochie to be unique and badass, seeing how most other villains would have surely made a Hail Mary attempt to break free from the situation. Poochie's stand Whitesnake is also very cool as well, but the only thing I'm still scratching my head over is how he was able to put Jotaro and Jolene in that decaying world when I thought his stand ability was primarily to steal memories and stands with discs. Regardless, Poochie is still another badass antagonist that I really thoroughly look forward to seeing more of in the future. Now, moving on to the final segment of this review, I want to go over some of the other noteworthy aspects that I loved in part 6. Starting off, one of the things that I really loved about Stone Ocean is the music. The music is absolutely incredible. It really helps to amplify whatever situation Jolene or the other characters are facing. Also, the opening and endings are both equally amazing. I found myself not skipping the opening over all 12 episodes, so I hope that continues whenever the anime returns. Another thing I really liked is that every episode does a brilliant job of creating that amazing suspense that JoJo fans and us are used to, as well as many of the lighthearted and funny segments as well. This blend really makes each episode all rich with both the aforementioned topics discussed as well as the remarkable battle scenes feel as though they are hardly even 24 minutes long. Now, for as much positives as I have to say about Stone Ocean, luckily there aren't any real negatives I have to report on in this part. My major gripes coming from that the episodes are only 24 minutes long and there's only 12 episodes, but in reality, let's just be honest, I'm being an asshole and that's just me nitpicking and really wanting to see more of this part as I'm just dying to know what the hell happens next. But if I were to give the part a sort of negative, it would just come from me nitpicking, and that would be, I feel as though they didn't really give too much shine to Emporio. I would really like to have seen more of him and dive into his backstory. I know that they delved and they touched upon that his mother was sort of killed by White Snake, and that's why he wanted to warn Jolene as to not visit her father Jotaro. But I definitely want to see more of Emporio moving forward when the anime returns. Now, like I said before, I haven't read where the anime ends. I only know where the anime ends, but definitely I feel as though whenever the anime returns, giving a little bit more attention to Emporio and making him a little bit bigger a character will definitely heighten my interest in him as well. And lastly, this last part isn't a con or negative on Stone Ocean, but rather something I would like to see whenever the anime returns, and that's the inclusion and the showcase of Florida. I would like to see the characters explore Florida a little bit more, perhaps break out of the prison and chase Poochie down. That way they can maybe go to Miami, Orlando, a lot of different cool places, because I know in other parts they have explored all of the areas that they are in, such as Stardust Crusaders. They go around the world and things of that nature. So I feel as though exploring Florida in this part would be really, really cool. And alright guys, it's going to go ahead and conclude my review of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, Stone Ocean. What did you guys think of the first 12 episodes? Did you guys like them? Did you guys not like them? Let me know in the comment section below. As well as, if you guys did like the video, please go ahead and drop a like. And if you enjoyed what you saw here, please consider sticking around, as I will be doing anime and manga related videos daily. So you definitely want to check that out and stay tuned for that, as I will be covering a wide variety of anime and manga moving forward. So without that guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign out. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. See ya!